and female.
See, this is where we're gonna have a bit of
No problem,
yeah,
no problem.
because I personally am a trans man.
Okay.
And my
That's why maybe
right,
I-
yeah. So here's where I sort of come at it. I think the most difficult part is honestly just dealing with the sort of social impacts. A lot of people like to throw around suicide statistics.
Yeah.
The thing with that,
God made people male and female. Okay? If people say, no, I can be whatever I want. Yes, I was born as a male, but no, I want to be a woman.
see, this is where we're gonna have a bit of
No
a bit,
problem,
yeah,
no
because
problem.
I personally am a trans man.
Okay.
And my
That's why maybe
right,
I-
yeah.
I-
So here's where I sort of come at it, at least. So there's this whole thing of like Adam and Eve, male, female, that kind of thing. I see it as the fact that if God creates everyone the way that they should be, then me being, a trans man, me transitioning from female to male, isn't a mistake. It's in fact an insight, right? Instead of just experiencing life from a female perspective, I'm experiencing it from the perspective of a woman and a man. I'm experiencing it from outside of strict social rules of what constitutes gender. There are a lot of us who are very, very in tune with religion and with divinity and theology and philosophy. In fact, like that's kind of it's kind of a massive part of our sort of collective culture, is this sort of understanding that religion and religious authorities tend to shun us, tend to like push us away from an experience that we all sort of inherently understand of understanding of, is this who I really am? Is this something that fulfills me as a person and isn't harming other people? Because, at the end of the day, if someone is, let's say someone transitions and they are a horrible person, it's not necessarily because they transitioned, it's because they were a horrible person, right? So you can't really necessarily ascribe, coming from my perspective, being a trans person, to pushing away godly teachings. If you're pushing away godly teachings, or if you're pushing away, humanity and good sense and all these kinds of things, you are going to do that regardless.
Yeah, thank you for opening up these things. That's a good question, where you don't consider this as something as a rebellion against God.
No. I consider it sort of a...
That experiencing the full potential, as you say, in life, that I want to be both. Okay, I was a woman or a girl, now I want to experience, I experienced that, now I want to experience the being a man. Okay,
Yeah.
so but don't you see, that would be like, this is the way I am designed for, but I am going to be something other than that.
I don't think
We
I was
all are
designed to
born.
not be a trans person.
I'm recording it, that's why I don't know whether you are okay to go into a little
I'm
bit
open,
okay,
yeah.
then when, if you don't mind, when it started feeling, so you knew that I'm a girl, then when it started feeling like that, I want to be a boy.
I kind of always felt it like subconsciously, but I think I put a name to it when I was about like 9 or 10 years old, because I'd always kind of aligned myself with more masculine activities and more masculine ways of speaking and physicality wise, to the point where like one of the most common things that people would say to me is, are you a girl or a boy? Even when I had hair that was longer than, whatever. But, so, and it wasn't even that made me be like, oh, I'm a man. It was more the fact that I felt this sort of uneasiness with being a woman. And I don't hate women. I don't hate femininity. I love women. I love pink and girly things are cool and interesting, but it's just it doesn't really necessarily align with what feels comfortable, what feels like it's meant for me.
Then you slowly
I started I socially transitioned as in I came out to most people or when I was around like 12, although a very accepting area, but I didn't actually come out to my father until I was 18 because he grew up in a very conservative religious household. So I was terrified of what he might respond with. But he was actually like very accepting. He was like, "Dad, I'm trans," and he just was like, "Okay," when I'd been building it up for so long. But I started medically transitioning, although it's been a very slow process. About I want to say 5 years ago, and like I said, very slow.
Okay.
I've been on very low dosage.
Did you start about 18 years old medically?
I started about like after 18. So you can't really start until around after you're 18 anyways. But yeah, I mean, I started when I was going to university, and I was on a very, very low dose until last year, and I just started taking like more strong testosterone, although again, slow process. But yeah, I mean, it was life-changing. When I started testosterone, I went to a therapist for a while who was just seeing me as like a patient, just like independent of like gender therapy or whatever. And she said to me that she was going to diagnose me with generalized anxiety disorder. But then I started taking testosterone and all of those symptoms just went away. Like I became more confident, I became more outgoing and extroverted, and I was happier. Before I had been quite dour about everything in my life, very pessimistic. But the moment I started taking testosterone, I found myself actually being excited for life and for the future. And when I had to briefly stop testosterone because I was abroad and I didn't have any more, and my mental health just plummeted. I mean, it was also COVID, so it made sense. But still, it really kind of showed me that like this is actually improving my life. This is actually making me feel the way that I think I should, and and I've become a much better person to my friends and my family. Because before I was so distraught and so like confused all the time, like not knowing why I felt uncomfortable with everything, and knowing that really helped me sort of vocalize my feelings and speak to my parents and speak to my friends in a way that was less angry and confrontational and more understanding and sort of compassionate, and also, like a lot of my friends growing up were all women, and now my friends are more of a 50-50 mix of men and women. And I used to be absolutely terrified talking to men, and now some of my most of my best friends are like awesome guys.
Can I say this? Okay, let me say this. I think what I have heard, when you do all these transitioning, you will have problem physically, health-wise. You will have a lot of problems.
Yeah, but I'll have problems physically, health-wise, regardless. Like I have heart issues. I was born with heart issues.
Greater problems.
Sure, but like that would be the same if I started taking any sort of medication for anxiety or whatever.
And you will be physically transitioning. That is what you have planned to.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a plan in place, and I've spoken with my doctors and all that kind of
what
stuff.
I have heard, those things are really is not. It won't be. It will be very difficult. That's what I have heard.
I think the most difficult part is honestly just dealing with the sort of social impacts. A lot of people like to throw around suicide statistics. the thing with that is
Not only
is
that, no pain. You have to be going to see the doctor constantly.
Oh, sure,
you
but
have
like
to
I'd
be under
probably be going to see the
medication
doctor.
constantly.
Yeah, I mean, but I'd be going to see the doctor constantly if I, had an issue with my heart, or if my lung collapsed or something.
That is not in your control. Now you are making a choice. Understand? Something you
Sure,
are
but it's a
making
choice
a
that I
choice to be in the stage. No,
Yeah.
you have the right to do
Right,
whatever
yeah.
you want to,
Yeah.
but you are making a choice to be that way, including accepting all the problems that is going to be associated
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
that.
That's fine.
Okay. Now,
You know?
one thing I want to say then. This I completely forgot, but I am trying to remember. You see, we all have feelings. We all born with feelings.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, I would say we have sinful feelings also. There are feelings that is there for a purpose, to be used. For example, especially talking about this kind of stuff, those feelings are there to be used in your married life. That is what God. But we also, because of our sinful nature, we have a feeling that is not, it will go overboard than the feeling that we supposed to have. So there is a state where we will come to use that feeling. We should be people who should be able to say, yes, I have this feeling. Say, I have the feeling to steal something. I have that feeling. When I'm born with that feeling. I have the feeling to hate someone. Those feelings we born with it. So we should be able to say, no, yes, I have that feeling. I don't think I should act upon that feeling.
Sure, but the difference between those feelings and what I've personally felt and what others have also personally felt is if anyone is being harmed by those things, right? Like if you steal something from someone, you're hurting someone else, and by sort of association, you're hurting yourself.
Okay.
But with the thing about my feelings as a trans person is that I'm not hurting anybody else by just kind of being a guy.
I agree with you, but that is where I have to say this. We all have to. That is where we have to give an answer to God. That is called a day of judgment. Why physically you were a girl, why you say, no, I am going to be making myself to something other than me. You made me as a girl, no, I am going to be a boy.
Well,
so you will be, in that sense, I think in that sense, you will be rebelling against God, the design of God.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Is like, you say I'm making myself into a man, but we change ourselves so often to better accommodate, our experience. Like, you're wearing glasses. You weren't necessarily made to wear glasses. It's just an augmentation of, who you are to better experience life.
I agree,
and that's
but
the same thing with what I'm doing.
I'm not doing anything against the design of God.
Right. No, but that's the thing is, if someone goes in and gets a heart transplant, or if someone, gets a surgery to fix something, like I've had heart surgery, right? Is that not against the design of God to fix my body if it's not working?
Yeah, but understand that that fixing is for you have a heart that is not working properly, you are putting there. But if you say, no, I have a heart, no, I should have a brain there instead of heart, that is not fixing. That is creating more problem.
Yeah, but I'm fixing more problems with like my
you may think
existence.
That, you may think that, but I am just telling you.
We can agree to disagree.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm saying you will experience even physical problem in this life.
Yeah, but again, I would experience physical problems if I didn't take testosterone. I would experience physical problems if I did.
No, you will be like the problem will be you will be accumulating more than we all experience some kind of problems in our life.
Yeah.
That's why Jesus said he came for. He came to establish kingdom of God where there would be no pain, no suffering, no crying, no depression, no loneliness, nothing.
Sorry, I'm just checking on the time.
Oh, if you want to, we can.
Ooh, yeah, I gotta
okay.
go. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.